Hi, I'm Simon. I'm co-director, co-writer of a few episodes, co-editor, and I'm friends with these people.
Hi, I'm Steph, Kaliner. I'm what am I again? A head writer.
She's our spokesperson.
Co-creator, and drinker of tea.
Ooh. My name is Mike Fly. We are recording this in my living room. This is, of course, I'm also a producer, co-director, and co-editor of the show. And we are about to watch Musicals versus Valerie, episode 8.
Let's do it.
Simon's gonna sing everything.
This is my favorite. That shot there, out of focus Val, is my favorite shot of the whole show. It just looks...
Of the whole show.
Of the whole show. It looks so amazing.
This shot's pretty awesome, too, because it makes the stage look really, really deep. And it's really not that deep.
No, it's not. I love that you can see this
shot.
lingering smoke, too. Like, there's people there who are smoking.
And this is the Lower Ossington Theatre. They were nice enough to let us shoot down there, which is awesome.
And we rented an old-timey microphone, and when I went in to rent it, I literally said, we'll need an old-timey microphone, and they knew exactly what I meant.
And that white tux jacket that Mark is wearing, did we purchase that, or is that something that
was his.
Yeah, of course.
And this dress belongs to...
That dress belongs to Amanda Day, who's
Amanda
a
Day.
stand-up in Toronto.
Yeah, spoiler alert, guys, that was fake smoke on the gun.
Fake smoke.
That was all done by Nick Montgomery. And the musical note there that you can see, that's the blood pouring, that Davin made that. He was going to try and do it practically, but it definitely did not work.
Fake sign?
Yep, fake sign.
We shot this at EXO Karaoke on Bloor. Oh, that's Bob Wiseman.
No, that's a fake Bob Wiseman. He was added digitally.
Actually,
those are real suspenders, though.
Bob Wiseman was really awesome, and he kind of dove into this part at the last minute, because originally the person who was supposed to play our karaoke manager was Day Storm, but he got booked to perform at the Streamies, so we had to push his I guess his day of shooting. Reorganized the whole schedule, and then he did so well at the Streamies that he got invited to go to the Grammys. So we were like, sorry man, we lost him all together, but also we were like, this is pretty badass for Daystorm. Good for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And we shot this on Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And it was one of our longest days. I think this day actually went almost 19 hours. This musical stuff was lots of fun to shoot. So we had like, I think 4 or 5 lights that we had rented that were like standard club lights, and we would just flood the room with smoke so that you could see them kind of moving around.
And this location is actually not EXO Karaoke. This is the one different location we did for this episode, other than in the teaser. This is Clinton's Tavern next door, their bathroom.
It's in the basement of the same building.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
And this was a very, like, once we put the smoke in, we shot as quickly as possible because that would not dissipate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was giving us headaches and
right.
Low
and
ceilings too.
The fire alarm kept going off.
Which is odd because the smoke is just like vaporized mineral oil. But I guess some of the older fire detectors just detect like particulate gets too high in the room or something like that.
Yeah.
So we started like taping cups over. That's a standard film industry technique to kind of avoid breaking a sprinkler with either heat from a light or the particulate. Is you tape a styrofoam cup over top of it where the sensor is, and that helps a lot.
Cat sounds so much like Jenna Warner.
Yes, it's because all of the songs. Kat, when we told Kat we were doing a musical episode, she was like, "Guys, I don't really sing," and we were like, "Don't worry about it. We'll find somebody that kind of fits in your range," and that was Jenna Warner, who did us a real solid.
Yeah, and Kat lip synced like a pro.
Oh yeah, well we gave her the song well ahead of time so she could actually like listen to it. She said she was listening to it on her iPod, trying to like mouth the words on the subway all the time, and people would always look at her weird. It's very fun. And this whole episode was written by Chris Craddock, who's done a bunch of musicals. He did a show called Bashed that was off Broadway.
Boytown.
Boytown. Yeah, he's an incredibly talented playwright, and I want to say
VsV. Oh.
I want to say he was actually the poet laureate for Edmonton, but I'm not 100% sure if that's correct. So, yeah.
We wish he was.
Yes,
if he's not, we wish he was.
Yeah. Mark Meir was definitely Edmontonian of the Year last year.
Oh, so that's right too.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And I remember building this graphic on all the stuff that had to play on the TV screen. I had to build the night before because we were talking about just leaving it green and then compositing afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were like, that's going to make our lives so shitty.
But it looks really good. It looks like a real karaoke screen.
Oh, we do have another location coming up that we didn't shoot at the karaoke place.
Oh, right.
In this hallway, where we were like, we have this scene and we don't know where to shoot it. And we were this is the hallway at a studio where we were shooting green screen stuff. What's the name of the studio?
Wallace Studios.
Wallace, right.
Wallace, that's it.
And this was just a hallway that we found in one of their buildings.
Yeah,
Movie magic.
It mixes nicely, I think. The doors happen to be black, which I think really helps sell the fact that it was the same room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And with the music in the background, it seems like that it's coming out of the rooms.
And the lighting and the fact that there's these blinds that cover the windows. It just kind of looks like a karaoke hallway.
And I loved talking to Waylon and Greg about this episode, our two people who made music for the show, and Greg was their music supervisor. But the idea was like, you guys, you have to go make a bunch of tracks. And they're like, for what? And I'm like, for the background of the karaoke episode. Also, when you make them, can you make them sound like they're going through three feet of plywood?
Yeah, right.
So they had to go compose great songs and then have them
And
all
then dull them down.
Yeah, just destroyed and distorted.
I love the tracks too for all the musical stuff. They're really catchy. I had them all stuck in my head, and at our apartment when I lived with Adam, we would be rehearsing these songs together. I would sing all the other parts, and
Awesome.
Adam would practice his.
I like that each has its own style of music.
Oh, that's all Waylon Mickey. He's of course Chris writes, like a person who writes musicals, and then Waylon is of course he works in that genre all the time. So for him, this was old hat, and he loved it. Like he got to write a bunch of different songs in a bunch of different styles.
And kind of coach them through it, I think, too, when they were recording it. He did some coaching.
He was there to help make sure everybody was as on pitch as possible. Yeah, it's fun. Like this actually came together really well.
I also love the goofy, sort of hammy faces, too. The actors really got to go big with this.
the finger wagging and...
Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah.
These were really challenging setups too, because it's a musical, so the camera has to be moving for the most part in every shot. You have to have like dynamism when the performer's connecting to the camera, and then in musicals people only sing when they have to reveal something, so they also have to act that emotion that character is realizing at the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like seeing Adam kind of like not only deal with singing with a song that has some complexity to it, but also trying to give us that idea that this is the point when he's realizing he's jealous, and why is he jealous of Val, or Val and Doctor's relationship.
Yeah, this is a really important episode in the series because it's the turning point where a guy finally realizes his feelings for Val.
Yeah, and he still hasn't quite articulated them, but they're there, and they've made themselves known to him, I think, at that point, which is nice.
I love the way that Bob Wiseman sells the word poo here.
Yeah, I hated this song all the way up until I saw it here, and then I'm like, this song's great.
Yeah, and the weird part is he's singing to the track that Waylon recorded, and then we had to record Bob afterwards. So that's why it doesn't actually sync up perfectly. But that's the way we had to do it because of the short notice that we had to replace Bob, Daystorm with Bob.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love this Fonzie moment. I love a good Fonzie moment. Boom. And clickety click.
Yeah, very nice. And Davin Langell was on the other side of that, just off screen, so that he was switching video links on, on the monitor up top. Yeah, and because we were just using QuickTime, we had to time it so that
Time off your laptop or his laptop?
One of the laptops, but we had to time it so that when he pressed the button, there's the time for the little play bar to disappear.
Right.
So that's how long it had to take Bob to do the hit and then the pause and then the stand up.
So whoever developed QuickTime contributed to the pacing of our show.
I love this song, and I believe that there was 38 different shots in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think this was the last thing that was shot.
Yes.
It was like almost 2 in the morning. You guys had been there since 6 a.m.
Yeah, it was a rough one, this one.
Yeah, I think you guys I was in the other room. I decided to stay the fuck out of this room because it was smoky and filled with people and small, and I'm like, I'm just gonna cause problems if I stand around in that room.
Yeah, same.
So
I
I was just watching it from on the monitor in another room, and I think it was 4 or 5 hours he worked on this.
Yeah, it was just like there was once because with a musical, like there's two ways that you can do it. You can either just kind of like passively hold the camera and then have people sing it, or you can actually try and like build shots that move into each other.
Yeah, create a story of the montage.
And it just comes down to like this one. I storyboarded. I love that Africa transition.
Yeah,
by the way.
It's so good.
Because it looks kind of like an anatomical heart as well, so you kind of get the like, yeah. Anyway,
it really worked, and I love Val rising into the shot is hilarious. You did a great job with this, because it's cheesy, but it's also hilarious. It's just a great job choreographing this.
I love
Crazy
the shot
Eyes
too. Yeah. And these were like weird for the actors too, where it's just like, okay, so Kat and Mark just stand there and stare at the camera for what we roll during this piece, because they're not doing anything. But so in the grand scheme of things, we block shot all of these shots. So we're like, okay, and now we just have to sit here and roll on you for 30 seconds, just standing there staring. Now move the frame over and have you staring. Yeah, it was weird.
I love this moment. Love this guitar.
Yeah, and Waylon murdered the song.
Yeah.
He just did a really good job. And have to go with not.
It's hard not to watch this and sing along.
Yeah.
Oh, we did karaoke tracks for everybody as well, too. So we have playlists where you can actually go and sing as each one of these individual characters, or if you have duets. Or
I still adhere to that I think we should go do those and put up videos of ourselves. So it'd be like you playing Guy and me playing Val in some scene.
I'd like to do that. I would.
I am definitely not a good enough singer to make that happen.
That's not the point, Mike. It's karaoke. The point is, I love that. Nah. I remember when we recorded that at Greg's studio. He did that. I'm like, you gotta keep that nah in there. The nah is great.
Yeah, and it's so funny to me that they all just sat there watching Guy sing Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, the whole time. And it's so light. Like this room, it's not dark. It's so bright in there. How like stark and
Yeah.
It's definitely not your average karaoke room, that's for sure. But we needed a clear distinction between like reality and when they're singing fantasy stuff. So.
That was improvised.
Oh, Born to Be Wild.
Born to Be Wild.
Yeah,
he improvised
that was really
He
funny.
mentioned in the cast commentary that that's his standard song, his go-to song for karaoke.
What's your go-to song?
Mine is "The Girl from Ipanema."
Oh yeah, that's a classic. That's good.
I also like that's Chris Craddock right
There he
there.
is,
Just so everybody can
with
see
his
him.
mustache.
He just had a baby. Not him personally.
We don't know that for sure.
No, he
Oh,
stole
yeah.
a baby. He just stole a baby.
The other thing too about Chris and Mark is that they do a show called Tiny Plastic Men, which is about they're a group of there's another guy as well, and they basically it's on Super Channel in Canada, so it's a pretty low budget small sitcom, but it's about the three of them running like a toy testing division.
Yeah. They make toys.
It's quite funny, and it's worth checking out on the old internets if you can find it.
He's also in a comedy troupe with Mark Muir and Jacob Bannigan called Gordon's Big Bald Head. And he's in an improv troupe called Galactus of Herald.
Herald of Galactus.
Herald of Galactus.
Yeah. Herald being a pun on both the Silver Surfer, who is the Herald of Galactus, and Herald being a form of improv, where they improvise like about it's like done in the style of looking at an omnibus of a fictional superhero. So they kind of skip back and forward in time to take a look at this superhero's career. It's pretty cool.
They're a bunch of
Real
nerds.
nerds, yeah. The real deal, guys.
Aren't we all? Mark also has a room in his basement in Edmonton that is just jammed with action figures, comics, collectibles.
I've heard of this room. I've never been there.
And he is like an award-winning cosplay guy. He goes to Dragon Con every year and like outdoes everybody. He's
He just
amazing.
got a mask.
The Hobgoblin, yeah.
No, the mask. It's a Mass Effect mask of one of the. I've never played the game, so I don't know. It's got just huge teeth.
Oh, that I don't
teeth.
know. But he also cosplays
Check
as
it.
Commander Shepard as well, which
Right.
is pretty awesome. He has they made him full on N7 armor, so he's like wearing actual film grade armor
Oh
from
my
Commander
gosh.
Shepard, which is really cool.
Wouldn't you poop your pants if you came up to you dressed like Commander Shepard and said a line from the game?
Oh, if I was like a crazy Mass Effect fan, which there are millions of, yeah, for sure, that would be like a game changer for me.
If I was a crazy person, I would just poop my pants.
Yeah, also that.
With or without Mark.
Ooh, how apropos, everybody. We're going to dive right into episode 9 after this. So why don't we take a break? You can go watch episode 9. You might have to watch it twice because it's all told out of order. And we will talk with you again soon.
Thank you, people. Please join us in episode 9.